Hello, Genevieve here, Graceworks 111, and I all day wanted to do what I'm gonna do now, which is I'm gonna read Lion King, and then I'm gonna do some fun poems out of Where the Sidewalk Ends with Shel Silverstein. By Shel Silverstein, and drawings also. Um, and I'm gonna also end. So first I'm gonna start with this, and then I'm gonna, in the middle, do some of those poems, and then I'm gonna end it with the Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. But I do need to warn you. The reason I couldn't do the reading yesterday is because it's been loud out here. My neighbors have work and stuff going on, which includes sometimes a lot of talking, sometimes it's a banging and booming, sometimes it sounds like a loud vacuum. So I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna try to push through this. So we'll see. And just be aware, I did hear a worker hawk a loogie, like spit, and it sounded pretty gross. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but if it does, I apologize. Alright, so I'm gonna do what I usually do, where I'll show you the picture first, and I think I may be getting this a little better, getting this down a little better, so I'm hoping. And yeah, so I'm excited to read this to you, and some of my favorite poems out of that book. They're really fun. Yeah, so here, let's get started. Ooh, my bird friend, hello. Oh, that was the spotted towhee. Doesn't he sound great? You sound so good. Alright. Okay. So. Oh wait, that's alright. I want to do it like this. Simba carried a heavy burden for a young lion cub. Let me see. Simba carried a heavy burden for a young lion cub. Timon, a meerkat, and Pumbaa, a warthog, wanted to help their troubled friend. "You've got to put the past behind you," Timon advised him. "Repeat after me, Hakuna Matata." This was Timon and Pumbaa's philosophy. "It means no worries," they sang and sang. Soon Simba had joined the group. With Pumbaa and Timon as his playmates, Simba learned to laugh again. He learned to live in the moment. The trio feasted on bugs, swam in the river, and sang songs and told jokes. Hakuna Matata, what a wonderful phrase. And they slept. Ooh, but look at this picture. Yeah, that's next. Woo! Yikes. And they slept under the stars. Life was good as long as Simba didn't think about painful memories. Father's death and his Uncle Scar saying that Simba was responsible. Scar had told him to run away, and Simba was still running far from guilt and pain. One afternoon, Simba's childhood playmate, Nala, came hunting. The lioness had no idea that her friend was still alive. She was searching for food and had chosen Pumbaa as her target. "She's gonna eat me," cried the cried the panicked warthog, who was stuck under a tree root. Just in time, Simba jumped to the rescue. Only after Nala had pinned him on the ground did he recognize the trick that she had always used when they were young, and pinned him to the ground. Just a minute. Pardonnez-moi. "Nala," he cried joyfully. Thrilled that Simba was alive, the lioness pranced around him in disbelief. "This is Nala? She's my best friend," Simba said, introducing Timon and Pumbaa. "This is Nala." The two lions had been playmates, always conspiring to escape the watchful eye of Zazu, his father's advisor. Even when Simba had led her to the dangerous elephant graveyard, Nala stuck by his side. "I thought you were very brave," she had whispered as they were led home. Simba was glad to see her again. You don't know how much this will mean to everyone." "What it means to me," Nala told him. "I've really missed you." Simba nuzzled her. "I've missed you too." "I've missed you." He said, but he's still not ready to face his past. Together, he was still not ready to face his past. Together, the lions walked in the magic evening air. They chased each other through the grass and tumbled down a hill. As they landed softly, Nala kissed Simba. It was a wonderful, tender moment, and the two embraced. Why didn't you come back? Nala eventually asked. Simba had been waiting for this question and hung his head in shame. No one needs me, he responded. But Nala disagreed. She told him that Scar had led the hyenas, that he let the hyenas destroy the Pride Lands. If you don't do something soon, everyone will starve, she told him. You're our only hope. Everyone will starve. You're our only hope. Still, Simba was not ready to return. He walked guiltily away. You can't change the past, he said to himself, and it's all my fault. Close by, the wise baboon Rafiki called out to him. You're Mufasa's boy, he reminded Simba. Then he led the lion to a pool of water and told him to look hard at his reflection. He lives in you. He lives in you, the baboon told him. Suddenly, the clouds changed shape, and Simba saw his father. His father, remember, son, remember who you are, Mufasa said from the stars. You are my son, and the one true king. Simba was afraid of what he knew he must do. Knocking some sense into his friend, Rafiki struck the lion with his stick. Simba was surprised. Why did you do that? It doesn't matter. It's in the past, Rafiki told him. It doesn't matter. It's in the past. The past can hurt. You can either run from it or learn from it. As Rafiki swung his stick again, Simba ducked, avoiding the blow. Understanding the lesson, he returned to the Pride Lands to challenge his uncle. Sadly, he looked at the destruction. This destruction Scar had caused. If I don't fight for it, then who will? He wondered. I will, Nala answered, joining him proudly. Timon and Pumbaa had followed as well. Simba, if it's important to you, oh, look at all the distraction. And if I don't do anything, then who will? We're with you to the end, they told him. The three followed Simba to Pride Rock. Everyone fought in the battle, even old Rafiki. The lioness chased the hyenas away. While Simba took care of Scar, I killed Mufasa, admitted his evil uncle. Anger surged through Simba. anger for the death of his father, anger for years of guilt, anger for the destruction of his home, using the trick that Nala taught him. He flipped Scar over a cliff. With a great roar, Simba finally claimed his rightful place as king. The lionesses echoed his proclamation, and happily welcomed him home. As news of Simba's return what happens next? Oh, the news had spread. Animals once again roamed free. The land began to heal, and Simba and Nala started a family of their own. Oh, what a happy ending. The bad guy didn't win. And see, Simba, he was scared. But sometimes, even though we're scared, we know what we need to do. We just don't want to do it. So, like his father was encouraging him, hey, you know who you are. Come on now. Have some confidence. Trust yourself, right? That's what he said. And see, and that's kind of like with God too, you know. He says, trust in me. Believe that I exist. Believe that everything you see around you represents my presence. Believe, and you will receive many blessings, and you will be able to push through anything in life. Through the pain. But then we also have the opportunity to celebrate and to say thank you, and to be like, oh, thank you for everything I've got in my life. For my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, even the annoying people. I love them. So thank you. And then if there's some difficult people, you can ask God to help you to handle things right, and not in a yucky way. All right, let's get into where the sidewalk ends. Let's see. I have a lot of them bookmarked. Oh, this one's fun. We'll start with this one first. Okay, here's the picture. Alright. Ickle me, pickle me too. Oh, ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Went for a ride in a flying shoe. Hooray, what fun! It's time we flew. Said Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle was captain and Pickle was crew, and Tickle served coffee and mulligan stew. As higher and higher and higher they flew, Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Over the sun and beyond the blue. Hold on, stay in, I hope we do. Cried Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Never returned to the world they knew. And nobody knows what's happened to dear Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. This one I just thought was cute. A hug-a-war. I will not play a tug-a-war. I'd rather play a hug-a-war, where everyone hugs instead of tugs, where everyone giggles and rolls on the rug, where everyone kisses and everyone grins and everyone cuddles and everyone wins. So don't play a tug-a-war, play a hug-a-war. But only with willing participants. And I guess I should tell you why I said that part. My nephew was being so sweet. It was because he wanted to show me that he was loving his sister. But he hugged her, but he was really like kind of rough when he came up, and so she didn't welcome it. And I tried to tell her, hey, don't push away love. I know that it was a little rough, but don't push away love. At least he was trying to hug you, you know. So, you know, if someone's trying to just offer some love, and it's in the right, in a good, you know, intention, as long as it's not painful, you know, even if it is painful, you can correct them and say, hey, I need you to be more gentle. But yeah, so it's like, don't reject love. Sometimes we do, especially if we're in a bad mood. Uh-oh. Have you ever rejected somebody's love when you were in a bad mood? I think I probably have. Oh, this one's funny. It's dark in here. I'm writing these poems from inside a lion, and it's rather dark in here. So please excuse the handwriting, which may not be too clear. But this afternoon by the lion's cage, I'm afraid I got too near. And I'm writing these lines from inside a lion, and it's rather dark in here. Look at this funny picture. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. The loser. Mama said I'd lose my head if it wasn't fastened on. Today I guess it wasn't, 'cause while playing with my cousin, it fell off and rolled away. And now it's gone. And I can't look for it, 'cause my eyes are in it. And I can't call to it 'cause my mouth is on it. Couldn't hear me anyway 'cause my ears are on it. Can't even think about it 'cause my brain is in it. So I guess I'll sit down on this rock and rest for just a minute. On a rock? Does that look like a rock? I think he found his head. But he couldn't see, so it's a rock instead. In his mind. Let's see. We'll do both of these. Funny picture again. Us. Me and him and me were always together. As you can see, I wish he'd leave so I'd be free. I'm getting a little bit tired of he, and he may be a bit bored with me. On movies and ladies we cannot agree. I like to dance, he loves to ski. He likes the mountains, I love the sea. I like hot chocolate, he wants his tea. I want to sleep, he has to pee. He's meaner and duller and fatter than me. But I guess there's worse things we could be. Instead of 2, we could be 3. Me and him and me. There's worse things that we could be. I guess we could be 3. Alright, and that's the next picture. I'm making a list. I'm making a list of the things I must say. For politeness and goodness and kindness and gentleness, sweetness and rightness. Hello, pardon me. How are you? Excuse me. Excuse me. Bless you. May I? Thank you. Goodbye. If you know some that I forgot, please stick them in your eye. Oh, that wasn't nice. But hey, they remembered so many. Hello, pardon me. How are you? Excuse me. Bless you. May I? Thank you. Goodbye. Two boxes. 2 boxes met upon the road, said one unto the other. If you're a box and I'm a box, then you must be my brother. Our sides are thin, we're caving in, and we must get no thinner. And so 2 boxes hand in hand went home to have their dinner. Okay. Anybody have a sister? You're gonna like this poem. For sale. One sister for sale, one sister for sale, one crying and spying young sister for sale. I'm really not kidding, so who'll start the bidding? Do I hear $1, a nickel, a penny? Oh, isn't there any one kid who will buy this old sister for sale? This crying and spying young sister for sale? Oh, that's not nice. You guys should always be good to each other. You all have feelings. Treat people the way you would want to be treated. And hopefully that's not badly. Right? So think about your attitude. Sick. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry. I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox, and there's one more. That's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be instamatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin. My belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle's sprained. My appendix pains each time it rains. My nose is cold, my toes are numb. I have slivers in my thumb. My neck is stiff, my voice is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth. I think my hair is falling out. My elbow's bent, my spine ain't straight. My temperature is 108. My brain is shrunk, I cannot hear. There is a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail, and my heart is... What? What? What's that? What's that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye. I'm going out to play. All that because they thought there was school that day. I wonder if that's ever happened to anyone, where you thought it was going to be school one day, and it wasn't. It was on a weekend. Although, maybe that was a sweet surprise, you know? That's how I would like to do it. Better than realizing it's, you know, a Sunday, and now you gotta wait for, you know, Monday. So, let's see. Tree house. A tree house, a free house, a secret you and me house, a high up in the leafy branches, cozy as can be house, a street house, a neat house, be sure and wipe your feet house. It's not my kind of house at all. Let's go live in a tree house. This one does not have a picture. It's just called No Difference. Okay, and it's this one right here. I'll still put it up close. Why not? Why not? Small as a peanut, big as a giant, we're all the same size when we turn off the light. Rich as a sultan, poor as a mite, we're all worth the same when we turn off the light. Red, black, or orange, yellow or white, we all look the same when we turn off the light. So maybe the way to make everything right is for God to just reach out and turn off the light. This poem has a really good point. We're all the same. If who you're looking at is in a body, speaks, and, you know, eats, breathes, sleeps just like you, uses the restroom just like you, no matter what they look like, they are the same as you and deserve everything equally as you. And yeah, no difference. Small as a peanut, big as a giant, we're all the same size when we turn off the light. Rich as a sultan, poor as a mite, we're all worth the same when we turn off the light. And you know, we can collect so many things throughout our life when we exist here. But guess what? None of those make a difference when we no longer exist. You know, all those things become garbage. Yep. Has anyone ever had someone, a relative, pass away, and then they have to go and clean out the person's house, and so many things get tossed out. It becomes garbage because it doesn't matter anymore. We're the ones who make all those things matter, when sometimes we shouldn't. All right. Invisible boy. And here we see the invisible boy in his lovely invisible house, feeding a piece of an invisible cheese to a little invisible mouse. Oh, what a beautiful picture to see. Will you draw an invisible picture for me? Tight hat. I tried to tip my hat to Miss McGaffrey. I never should have put it on so tight, 'cause it wouldn't come off my head and my neck got stretched instead. That's what you get for trying to be polite. That darn hat. Wish it weren't on so tight. Stretched my neck. That ain't right. You know what? Now I think it is time for us to do the other story. Oh, the other Lion King one, part 2. Are you ready? All right. Hakuna Matata, what a wonderful phrase. Da, 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 da. Hakuna Matata. The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. Love withstands anything. Kira was warned never to go to the Outlands, but her father wouldn't tell her why. What could be so terrible, Kira wondered curiously. As soon as her faithful guardians, Timon and Pumbaa, were distracted by their favorite pastime of eating bugs. She crept away and ventured to the forbidden land. There she met another lion cub. The two cubs helped each other cross a dangerous river full of crocodiles. Exhilarated by the adventure, Kira exclaimed, "We make a good team." With admiration, she smiled at Kovu. "You were really, really brave," she told him. He looked at her curiously. His mother, Zira, had always taught him that pride the Pridelanders couldn't be trusted. Yet this lioness had saved him from the crocodile's teeth at least once. Yeah, you were pretty brave too, Kovu admitted happily. Kira began to prance around him. She was laughing and wanted to play. But Kovu didn't understand. He'd never played tag. Just as Kira began to make him smile and laugh, their parents arrived with bared teeth. Uh-oh. Kira's father, Simba, was an enemy of Kovu's mother because Zira was loyal to Scar, who had murdered Simba's father. The Lion King had banished her to the outlands. Focused on revenge, she was raising Kovu. She was raising Kovu to hate. Her plan was to overthrow Simba and make her son the new king. Take your cub and get out, Simba ordered. As Kovu and Kira were separated, the friends sadly whispered, they had to be separated. They whispered goodbye. It was not until they were fully grown that the two saw each other again. Kira was a beautiful young lioness out on her first hunt. She had made her father promise not to interfere, but Simba was protective of his only daughter. As usual, he sent Timon and Pumbaa to watch over her from a distance. When Kira came upon Timon and Pumbaa during her chase, she felt betrayed and angry. Wanting to prove that she could manage on her own, she raced away to hunt in the outlands, unaware that the outsiders were watching her every move. She fell into their trap easily. Quickly, Zira and her followers set the plains on fire, surrounding Kira. The young lioness ran until she fell unconscious. It was then that Kovu appeared, trained to avenge Scar. He rescued the princess only to get closer to his goal of killing Simba. He was ready for anything except for falling in love. even then, he was still thinking he was just getting close to her to kill her father. "Thanks for saving me," Kira said, after Simba reluctantly allowed Kovu to return with her to Pride Rock. She was happy to have him back in her life, and she unwittingly distracted Kovu from his mission, leading him away from her father. Kira asked him to impress her with his expertise in stalking. As Kovu showed her how to pounce quietly, they ran into Timon and Pumbaa. The silly animals were trying to rid their feeding ground, rid them of pesky birds. "Lend a voice," asked Timon. "With a roar!" Kira gave chase. "Why are we doing this?" asked Kovu, puzzled. "For fun," answered Kira. She showed Kovu the joy of laughter, and he was exhilarated by the new experience. This is so fun! But why are we doing this? Even after being chased by angry hippos, he was happier than he'd ever been. "What a blast!" he shouted, smiling at Kira. By accident, the two bumped noses bashfully. You're okay, kid," said Timon. That night, Kovu and Kira lay on the grass looking at the stars. "Do you think Scar's up there?" Kovu asked attentively. "He wasn't my father, but he was a part of me." Kira knew he was troubled and tried to comfort her friend, but he pulled away, confused. Kovu wasn't sure if he should follow his mother's plan or not. They bumped noses bashfully. He didn't know if he should follow his mom's plan or follow his heart. Nearby, the wise baboon Rafiki was watching, leading the two lions to a place he called Unpendi. Rafiki placed them in a boat. As Kovu watched Kira during the wild ride, he gave in to his feelings for her. Kissing and laughing, Kira guessed, "Upendi means love, doesn't it?" Deciding not to follow in Scar's footsteps, Kovu made peace with Simba, but unawares, he and Simba were ambushed by the outsiders. "No!" yelled Kovu, but it was too late. Simba believed he was responsible for the setup, and he exiled Kovu. So Kovu got sent away because Simba thought he'd set her up. Kira was heartbroken. Kira knew that Kovu couldn't have been responsible for the ambush. Running away, she joined Kovu in the ashes of the fire. "Hey, look, we are one," Kovu said, looking at their reflection together in the water as the wind blew the ashes away to reveal grass underneath. They knew their love could survive. It could survive anything. Racing back to the Pride Lands, Kira put an end to the war. "We are one," she declared. "We are one." With peace settling over Pride Rock, once more, Simba accepted Kovu's relationship with Kira. Together, they joined the king and queen for a celebration of unity. So, what have we learned with that? Huh? Hello, chickadee, chickadee. What have we learned? Is it good to hold grudges? Even some adults hold grudges. Sometimes too long. Sometimes it's really sad sometimes all the years that can go by when someone's just, because they have hurt feelings, they don't ask for forgiveness, or they don't approach another person and be the bigger person and saying, "You know what, even though they haven't apologized, I'm gonna apologize to them. Even though I still might feel like I'm the one who was right in the situation, I'm gonna take the initiative because I want us to heal. I want us to get better. I want us to get past this." Right? Because when you keep the anger inside, or the hurt feelings inside, and you hold them against people, that's really, you're just serving yourself a bad portion of poison. It's toxic. It's yuck. I mean, when someone sits in anger, you're willingly making your body feel gross. Because it doesn't feel good to be mad. That doesn't feel good. It feels better to calm yourself down. And if you can think of good things that person has done for, in life, or for you, or whatever, if you can find a way to, instead of feeling angry, you start feeling better. You feel love or empathy, maybe you feel bad for them. Maybe they're having a hard time with forgiving someone. But that's when we choose to, we pray for them. There's a person in my circle, within my family, that really mistreats somebody I love. Like, to the point where it's very aggravating, very sad for me. So I always, constantly, I'm praying for their protection. And this person's body is somewhat weak, so I always pray for strength for them. But anyways, the point being, look, in this story, you know, Simba felt guilt. He felt like he had done the wrong thing because someone else made him feel that way. And it wasn't his guilt to hold on to, but he had it for many, many years. You know, like, so it's really important that we don't put false blame on people, that we don't pretend like someone did something when they didn't do it, because it can really not do good for you. I mean, look how Scar's life ended, right? Off a cliff. Even though he was able to live for a while after killing Simba's father, he still, even though he was able to destroy the land and do all these things and be in charge for a while, his life still ended because he made really bad decisions. And look who became king like they were meant to be, because Simba listened to his heart and to the spirit world, you know, to God, so, and his father. Anyway, so I hope you had a good time. How about I show you some of my rocks to end it with? I believe this one is Muakite. Dragon's blood. I know, that's what they call it though. Dragon's blood. It's pretty. Two different kinds of picture. This is called picture jasper. Like a picture jasper. There you go. Yeah, so two different types, but yet the same. Pretty cool, right? Oh, you can kind of tell it's the same. This one, it's either obsidian or some tribal type rock thing. Ancient tribal rock type thing. I've looked it up once, but there's a good chance it's obsidian because of this part. And I like this rock that I found on the beach because it has a natural heart. Isn't that so cool? It just felt so special when I found it, like, aw, a gift for me. Oh, this one, you guys will like. It's my fish rock. Hello. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next time. Alright. Hope you enjoyed. Take care. Bye-bye.